Okay, welcome everyone here at the best college football podcasts here. So I'm just getting it set up. Let's see. Feel free to ask me any questions as always. We'll answer any questions across all platforms on here. Get to them when I can. Yesterday I did a full hour stream. It was pretty late. And it happened that YouTube thought I was a robot, so banned my stream. Also, just finished the Pitt West Virginia game. I knew that was going to be a good one. Put that on my top 10 most look forward to games for the day or for the week, and it did not disappoint. Man, some can argue that maybe I should have put it a little bit higher in the rankings because it was actually better than I even anticipated. No, let's see here. Now, also a good game going on here. Purdue is just ahead by 3 points with Penn State going down to score, so that's awesome. That's a good game there too. So just to let you know, just to kind of explain, so I've been listening to college football podcasts for years. I love the ones that are out there in a lot of ways, but the thing is they're usually backed by big organizations. They have biases. They're usually fans of a team down south. Usually SEC, ACC, Big Ten. So there's a lot of inherent biases in there. So I just thought I'd add something different. So I'm not backed by anyone, obviously. Do it on my own. Maybe sometime I'll get a co-host, and I'm accepting applications. But in order to get invited, you have to be able to interpretive dance. So be ready to show off your interpretive dance game in order to do that. But also, there are other cool, ones that are smaller, but they're usually like regional conference ones, specific teams. Just thought I'd do it in general. And I love college football. May not be as knowledgeable as everyone out there, but hey, I'm here to learn. I'll take advice, questions, format, anyone that wants to do this. I will be trying to live stream as much as I can. YouTube has limited me because they think I'm a bot. Eventually I'll get full access there, but I am live streaming on Twitter and Facebook. I will pop, as long as the audio is good, I will post this to podcasts also. And so, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So let me know, guys, if you have any thoughts or questions or any comments. I should be able to see those coming in if anyone does comment. Now, I know everyone's probably finishing the big game. I watched the whole Pitt game. I should have went over to the Penn State game. So, man, Penn State's really going down the score right now. Wow, that's crazy. So they are 1st and 10 on the Purdue 25. Oh, no. Wow, man, this thing's lacking. A 2nd and 5 on the Purdue 25. So, wow, big one. It's hard to say. I do like to see kind of the underdogs do well. So I'd like to see Purdue win this one. I have no dog in the game, as I don't usually actually bet. But, I mean, not anti talking about lines. I just think it does add a good context to the game. So as far as predicting, how the games will turn out and everything. Okay. So this isn't very good podcast content, though. I'll hopefully edit out some of the dead space. So 2nd and 5 on the Purdue 25. So no, 1st and goal. on the Purdue 10. Man, Penn State's gonna. Oh, they just scored! Holy cow, that's crazy! What a game! I wonder if they're gonna take a note from Nebraska and just try to onside kick it. Right, this would be the perfect time to do it right after going up with a minute left. But maybe you have to go to Dublin to be able to do something that dumb. So let's see here. So big game of the day, like I said, West Virginia Pitt. One thing about that game, that is what real college football is about. Not about realignment, which is, just making it more and more corporate, more and more focused on money. I think it can hold these rich traditions and still make money. I mean, come on, why have they not played for 11 years? I mean, you see my team, University of Utah, we hate BYU, but guess what? We've missed probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 years in the last 11 years since realignment. So it's kind of ridiculous that they can't find a way to get that to go there. Now, there were a couple things here. I know West Virginia fans are pissed off. So there are 3 key things that happened in that last drive that was interesting. 2 of them, West Virginia fans are probably crying about. The third one actually was in your could have been called against you, but I think they're all the right call as far as what they should have been. So I think it was the right call to accept fair catch that was done. Let's see here. Okay, so I do think it was the right call to accept the fair catch. So Pitt fans, if they had lost, man, they would have cried about that one because technically, I don't think he actually waved. I think the other one did, but I think it was the right catch, the right call. Also, there was a no call on that targeting. I believe that was the last drive, but that is also, I believe, the right call. Now, West Virginia's fans were super pissed about that, I assume. And I also agree that it should not have been ruled a catch on that last drive. So now watching that game, I have not seen so many hillbillies so mad since Walmart said I made the policy of no shoes or no service. Man, it was like there's probably going to be riots. I wonder if they're going to burn any couches or cars down there. Just kidding. I do have a sister and brother-in-law that live in West Virginia. Just a joke. But one other notes on that is when they were up by a touchdown, Pitt, ice in their veins, goes down, drives, and scores. And that second to last score on that drive, that West Virginia defender just kind of like, what are they, matadored him, where they just kind of let the defender pass and score. Probably thought he was falling down. Maybe he didn't want to get a ejected or something like that. But man, he's going to get a whipping tomorrow. And that's too bad. I hope he doesn't take it too seriously because, his coach is going to be mad at him tomorrow. They shouldn't have let that go. And then also the catch, the next play or whatever, the next drive was a pick 6. Come on, as a former person that capped the ball as a tight end, you touch it, you catch it, or at least knock it down. You can't be doing that. Is insane. So too many errors by Pitt or by West Virginia in Pitt 1, and it was at Pitt, so that helps. But that was a really crazy game, and it was really fun. So I'm excited about it there. So let's see here. Check the score. Man, Purdue, what? Oh, okay, yeah, they're trying to drive down. They're going to lose. Okay. So 30 seconds left in that game. Seconds, man. Purdue's going to lose that. That's a tough one. So, but good on them. That was a good game as far as that there. So, otherwise, one of the things I was going to talk about. So I didn't get to watch the Purdue Penn State game, but looked like it was a good one. Mainly watched the Pitt game. Otherwise, some of the things I'm going to talk about is just general topics because this was really actually something I streamed yesterday before the game today. So I'll just touch base on week 0 and preseason stuff, but then we'll talk about what was going on now and in the future. But as far as one of the things I wanted to cover is preseason rankings. I know some people are really passionate about it, and I certainly am, but it's kind of crazy how they go. Some say it's not a big deal. I mean, I love them. They bring a lot of entertainment, but I don't think they should be official. Like maybe people that, don't have anything to do with the official rankings. I mean, I know they're not official, but still, if you're coming from a school that's not ranked to become ranked, you're like having to battle hardcore. So just to go over the stats. So SEC has 43% of their teams, the highest percentage and highest per school, which is 6 schools, are ranked 6 out of 14. Now, yes, they have the biggest conference. They have out of three out of 5 Power 5 conferences have 14 teams. And also the Sun Belt has 14 teams. But they're still the highest percentage, almost half. So all of their divisions is ranked, which gives them a crazy advantage. So, whenever if they beat, if they lose to someone, if it's a ranked team, they lost to a ranked team. If they beat a ranked team, they're even better. It's kind of self-perpetuating there. Not denying that they're talented, which they are, but, maybe smarter minds than me can think of ways to fix that. Now, the ACC is second with 5 ranked teams at a total percent of 36%. So that's 5 out of 14 schools are ranked. Big Ten is fourth with 29%. And actually, the Big 12 has a higher percent than them because they have 3 out of 10, and so 30%. So even though Big Ten has more, so quarter, 25%, 3 out of 12. 8, the American Athletic Conference is the only conference that has ranked teams. So 2 out of 11 or 8% of their schools are ranked. As far as independents, there's just 2 independents. Those, one of them, Power 5 would be Notre Dame, and the others, somewhere in the middle. But some hot takes on week 0 real quick here. So I'm live streaming on there. Okay. So week 0, like I said, we'll just brush over that. I know people are sick of that already, but I wanted to mention. So let's see. Let me get a drink here. You didn't see that. So let's see here. So one thing is I wish week 0 would become the actual first week of the year. With 2 bye weeks instead of 1. So I wish they treat it like they treat people who play Hawaii. Just made everyone have 2 bye weeks. It starts a week earlier. Gives us more games spread out, longer season, more rest. I don't know why they don't do that. Now, whatever excuses they come up with are probably going to be dumb. But let's see here. First thing is Nebraska went from the best 3-win team in the nation to the best 0-win team in the nation. some kind of record there. I don't know how they did it, but all they had to do is travel across the world to Dublin to find out. That's nuts. I mean, I wish they could teach me. Maybe next year they can be the best one-win team and the best two-win team. They might as well become the best every team as the years go on. Now, also, amazing strategy, bold move there is to do an onside kick when you're ahead 11 points. I think it was in the third quarter. So that's awesome. Keep doing it. And it's almost as bad as hiring Mike Riley. So, which was awesome also. So keep it up, Nebraska. And maybe you can end the season being the best 0-win team. Now, Utah State, just touch base there, is, man, they barely beat UConn. Struggled there. Maybe they're looking forward to the beatdown they're going to get next week against Alabama. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff there. Now, let's see here. Wyoming. One thing there is I'm glad players are not tied down anymore. Man, it would suck to have to, be stuck at a place for 4 years, no matter how bad it was, coaches left, stuff like that. But seeing what's happened to Wyoming is just sad. I mean, they lost all their best players, most of their best players, and they just got killed on Saturday. So that's not good. Now, Florida State, now I've been listening to some of their fans, and they're super proud on how they managed to beat their FCS rival this year. Amazing. Man, if every school could just do that. So good job, Florida State. Nevada has a turnover trident. I don't know if I'm missing something there, but what does a trident have to do with Nebraska that has no oceans? So, I mean, Aquaman doesn't live in Nevada. Vanderbilt, besides calculating how much money they have in their coffers, that's the highest score I've ever seen, ever. Just kidding. Recent memory, I don't know. That's a lot of points for Vanderbilt. So one of the things I wanted to go on, moving on from that, is I like, calculating and keeping track of things like playoff elimination. I'm going to do a game. I have rules for it and everything. Later on, I'll track, who's eliminated from conference titles, who's eliminated from bowl wins. But, being the first week, that's kind of impossible there. So let's see here. Now the rules include, so first rule, I know you don't like this, but this is how it is. G5, group of 5 teams, are eliminated after their first loss. Sorry, until a team gets in with their second loss, too bad. Now, rule number 3, we'll talk about a little bit more. Let's see here. Now, rule number 2, on that one, so P5 teams are eliminated after the second loss. Obviously, if they lost to FCF's team, they're eliminated. Or if they lose to a really crappy group of 5 team, they'd be eliminated. But these are the rules. Rule number 3, in extreme, crazy circumstances, aka if you're a team that rhymes with Galabama or Ohio State, or Georgia, any of, some teams could potentially get in with 2 losses. We'll address that towards the end of the season, but those first 2 are the first rules. Now we're just going to go through here. So then Independence, UConn, you're eliminated. You lost. You lost to Utah State. New Mexico State, you're eliminated. Can't remember who you lost to, but too bad, you're out of there. So 2 of the Independence teams. Wyoming, you are eliminated. You're in the Mountain West. Hawaii, you got your butt kicked by Vanderbilt. You are eliminated. Let's see here. Okay. Now, number. So we got Hawaii Mountain West. So 2 from there. Charlotte, you're eliminated from Conference USA. UTEP, Conference USA, you're eliminated. Also, I'll include, just for this list, the 2 other teams eliminated. La Tech, Louisiana Tech, you're eliminated. Conference USA, Central Michigan, the MAC, you're also eliminated. Now, so that leaves a lot of teams still available. So obviously, SEC, Big Ten, ACC, all 3 of those have none eliminated. So Pac-12, well, it's impossible for them to be eliminated really because they haven't played 2 schools. So Group of 5, Sunbelt hasn't had any eliminated yet. Mid America or MAC, they actually just had 1 eliminated, so they're at 11 out of 12 are still remaining. And the AAC has 0 eliminated so far. Big 12 has nothing eliminated. Now, the Mountain West has 2 total that have been eliminated. That makes them, 10 schools remain. So 17% of their schools have been eliminated already. Conference USA, you're, had 3 out of 11. So you're at 8 remaining. It's going to put you down low on that percentage. And also independents, only 5 remain. So 29% of them have been eliminated. So total, there remains out of 131, there's 124 left in the playoff race. So around, 94% or so on there. Just different numbers just because they're calculated different on that. Let's see here. Now, we're just going to go over the games of the week. So week 1, official week 1 is here. And we christened it tonight with Penn State making all those hillbillies mad in West Virginia. So that is awesome. I'm excited for that. As far as the best games, and I'll leave the Pitt one where I had it because I had it up there for me. Maybe I should have put it higher, but it is in the top 10. Spoiler warning. Now, good job, Arizona State. They're pouncing Northern Arizona, so maybe that's not that great of a win, but some thought they might lose that game. It's because with everything going on here. Now, my number 10 team, sorry, I just wanted to double check something. Okay, so perfect. So number 10 team game of the week, purely for me, is Rice at those backstabbing USC. Sorry, University of Spoiled Children, I should say. Only interesting, it's going to be a beatdown. It's the highest spread as of 2 days ago. That on this list, they're USC's minus 32.5 at that time. They're gonna kill them. They're gonna beat them down pretty good. But it's interesting because it's Lincoln Riley's first game. Let's see how they do. They better beat him bad, or they're gonna want to fire him. They're like getting to like Auburn levels of craziness, which is not really true. They're maybe in like the Tennessee realm of craziness right now. So number 9, so that one was on, that one's at 4 p.m. Saturday. Number 9, North Carolina State at East Carolina. Maybe it won't be that close a game. It is, North Carolina State is minus 11.5. So it's not predicted to be super close, but it is interesting because North Carolina did really well last year and East Carolina has an upward trajectory. So, and it's the first game of the week. It's a good position at 10 a.m. It would be the one I would watch in that slot if the next one on my list wasn't there. So number 8 for me is North Carolina at App State. Now, that's a pretty sweet game. I don't know why they do this. They go on the road and play these group of 5 schools on the road, and they've done a lot of them, and they lose a lot of them. Good. I mean, for one thing, I'm like, awesome. Good job, North Carolina, for being, you know, working hard, you know, going away to a group of 5 school, especially App State. That's awesome as a fan in general. But as a school, it's like, wow, I wish either everyone did this or, man, that sucks that they do because, man, North Carolina in this game alone has probably traveled, gone to more, just counting this game, gone more to a group of 5, traveled to away a group of high schools than Alabama has in its entire existence, probably. I'm just kidding. Don't quote me on that, but I know Alabama hasn't done a true road game forever. So, yeah, it's kind of messed up. So screw that, Alabama, and do better. If you're so good, go anywhere and beat anyone. North Carolina is minus 1.5 points as of 2 days ago. It is at 10 a.m. Saturday, so that's a good spot. I'll make sure to tune in there first and see how they're doing. I may be switching back and forth, and I'll go over that. Number 7 was the game tonight. Hey, maybe I should have had it higher, but I did have it pretty high. So West Virginia at number 17 Pitt. That was an awesome game. Really, if I ranked it knowing how good it was, probably would have put it at number like 4 on my list, maybe even number 3. It could have possibly even been number 2. So West Virginia really pissed that one away. Seriously, they should have won that, and they pissed it away. So it's gonna be a lot of really mad hillbillies going to the Piggly Wiggly tomorrow. Pitt's number 17 on ranked number 17. They were at the time of minus 7.5. So let's see, what was the final score there? Did they cover? Okay, wow. They won by 7. So if you took it when I first got it, you barely lost that. So they beat by 7. Oh, they didn't cover. Let's see, number 6, I have Notre Dame at Ohio State. There's got to be some kind of fluke. Top 5 matchup, including Notre Dame and Ohio State being not in the top 5 best. It is in the top 10, but not top 5, mainly because I just don't think it's going to be entertaining at all. I think it's going to be really a beatdown. I mean, Ohio State's negative 17 as of a couple of days ago. I think they'll. I mean, they may cover that in the first half. No problem. No. There's nothing wrong with Notre Dame. They're awesome on defense, so maybe that'll help them. But you're not really going to slow down Ohio State. You have to keep up with them, and so until I see that they can actually keep up with Ohio State offensively and prove it, then I don't really have a solution because I just don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be close. So unfortunately, it shouldn't have been so close. But really, I don't think Notre Dame should be number 5. I mean, I think just to compare, I think there probably should be sitting at 13 where North Carolina State is. I think they're better than USC. I think USC is overrated. They shouldn't be 14 for sure. But they should be higher. I mean, Pitt. I think Pitt's better than Notre Dame. But Notre Dame number 5. Come on, that's part of the problem with preseason rankings. no one complains about it because there's so many freaking Notre Dame fans. But they don't deserve to be number 5, and Ohio State really could be number 1. I think they should be number 1. I think they are the best team in the league. I think they'll win it all. If their new defensive coordinator makes them, 50% better on defense, even 20% better, they're gonna kill everyone, and it'll be close when Alabama and Georgia. But I think they'll beat everyone handily. Now, my number 5 game. This one's kind of a weird one, but it is a Sunday game, the only Sunday game, Florida State at LSU. Now, after just destroying that amazing FCS, or was it FCS school, they should have no problems with LSU, right? So I I really think that it will be a good game just because FSU has a good culture that they've established. They just don't have good talent. LSU has good talent, has not established the culture yet. Brian Kelly is really good at winning, these types of games. So I think it'll be a really good game. LSU -3. It is at LSU. I think they're going to win it, and I think they'll cover. I didn't make any other predictions. So Notre Dame, they're going to get killed. I mean, I'd bet that if I was a betting person. West Virginia, obviously, that one's over. North Carolina State at App State. I think that one's toughy. I think North Carolina will win, but that's a tough game. North Carolina State's going to win. I don't know if they'll cover because it's 11.5 points, North Carolina State versus East Carolina. Number 4 on the one is kind of a gem, I think. It's Boise State at Oregon State, and that is Pac-12 after dark, even though technically it's not Boise State's not Pac-12, obviously, but that will be a fun game. And I think Oregon State's underrated. They should have been ranked if Notre Dame's 5, Oregon State should be in the top 25, maybe around 25, but they should be up there. But Notre Dame's just so overrated. I'm pissing off the Notre Dame fans on there. But let's see here. So let me know if you have any problems hearing me. Since so many people are watching right now, it's insane how many people are watching. A total, if you divide it by the number of people watching, it'd be an error on right now math. So Boise State at Oregon State. Oregon State's -3. I think they'll cover that. I think Oregon State will go unranked into next week. Hopefully, they should be ranked compared to these other ones. Cincinnati, number 23, Cincinnati versus number 19, Arkansas. They should also be ranked there. Well, they're both already ranked, but number 23, Cincinnati is, they are not going to be as good as last year because they lost so much talent, but they have an awesome culture. And number 19, Arkansas, they are also good. This is really intriguing because I want to see how Cincinnati is after losing so many, and I am intrigued by Arkansas. I would love for Arkansas to win the SEC. How awesome would that be? I mean, you would have Alabama would hire Dick Saban, and you would have all the coaches in the West just getting fired. Just kidding. But that would be so cool. That's at the 1:30 on Saturday. Georgia versus Oregon is, quotations, neutral game. But guess what? It's not a neutral game. It's in Atlanta, which is pretty much Georgia. So, it is in Georgia, but pretty much a home game. So poor Oregon. It's a -17. That's my number 2 favorite game. Sorry to jump around here. So Cincinnati versus Arkansas. I think Arkansas is going to win, and I think they'll cover. It's hard to go down to Arkansas and beat them there. Georgia, Oregon at -17. That's a tough draw for Oregon. It's quasi home game for Georgia. They're they lost a lot of talent. Or I think Oregon's more talented than people would admit. But I think there's a whole nother there's a whole nother level to Georgia. So I think Oregon will not cover, and Georgia will cover and win. And the number 1 game of the week is Utah Utes at Florida. Now, from what I hear on Twitter, apparently the best player from Florida is this 5-star undefeated is the humidity. Now, I joke, but I know that humidity is a big thing. I've lived in those areas, but so is elevation. They at least have, going to be breathing a lot better down in Florida. It will not be very fun to be in the heat for them. So that'll make it a hard game. Utah, as a couple of days ago, was -3. I would take Utah to win, but I won't. I'm not sure if they'll cover, but I would take the win. So I think it'll be a really close game. Florida has all the talent. This is kind of like on steroids, the Florida State versus LSU kind of thing. Utah has the grit, the toughness. They have the development. Florida has the talent and a new coach. I really respect the new coach. I think he's great. I respect the humidity and the heat, but I think the Utes are going to take a win from Florida. Now, one narrative there it's super annoying is like, hey, if Utah loses, then the whole Pac-12 is just dumpster fire. Which I know it's not as good as some of the other ones, but it's insane to have one game determine a whole conference's worth. It's like the SEC has a billion. They all just lose them all, and they're like, "Oh well, we lost to an SEC game." It's just a big Ponzi scheme in football. So this is kind of annoying there. But we're going to go over some of the games I was going to watch in their order. So Thursday night, obviously West Virginia versus Pitt. Maybe I underranked the Penn State game. I may have put that in my top 10 if I had realized. So I missed that one. Not watching anything tomorrow, taking a break. Saturday, I'm going to watch North Carolina at App State. And my alternative is my number 9 game at North Carolina at East Carolina. That's at 10 in the morning. So I know you Central, Eastern love your times. Dude, Mountain time is the best time for viewing. I get to start at 10 a.m., start watching the games. So at 1:30 Mountain time, I'll turn on Georgia and watch them destroy Oregon, but I'll peek at the Cincinnati Arkansas game at the same time and just alternate there. 4 p.m. I'll watch Rice get destroyed by USC for the first part, and then I'll put the crown jewel at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, Utah at Florida, and I'll just peek very smallly at Notre Dame game because I'm a Utah fan. But I'll keep my eyes open. I maybe have it on the second stream there, and then I'll have Pac-12 after dark. That'll be fun when Boise State at Oregon State. Sunday, I'll watch the Florida State at LSU. I really do think that's an intriguing game. Monday, not really super interested in that game. It may be interesting, but did not make my top 10, and I will use that game to make up to my wife for all the time I watch college football and get things done around the house. Now, looking ahead to next week, just peeking ahead a little bit, we got Alabama at Texas. They're going to slaughter them. App State at Texas A&M. Dude, could you imagine being two Power Five schools in a row, and one of them being the SEC. That would be amazing. Then we got Tennessee at Pitt. That will be a really good game. Kentucky at Florida. In Florida, they're gonna, have to play Utah, and then, body clock and play Kentucky the next week. So they better not be looking ahead to Kentucky, or they're going to get destroyed. But they may just have a tough time on that turnaround. And then another interesting one is Baylor at BYU. So maybe BYU wants some revenge from last year's loss and have to play them down in Happy Valley. They're in Provo. So those are kind of the things I wanted to go over there. I appreciate anyone watching. Like I said, I didn't talk about it. So please, on YouTube, once I post this, subscribe. I'm just starting out from nothing. Please follow Facebook, like the page, Twitter, retweet, comment. I just appreciate anything. And on the podcast, if you're listening to this, please 5-star review, subscribe, tell everyone, all your friends to subscribe. I'll be happy to answer any questions. You can email me at the best college football podcast at gmail.com. So I know it's a handful. The best college football podcast at gmail.com. And, I'm really just excited to have input from everyone on the show. I'll add segments, questions, whatever you guys want in there. And I'd be happy to, look that over and, adjust anything for you guys. And any questions, let me know. Hey, if you want to know, what schools, what Harry Potter character, then I'll go over that. I mean, Hagrid, he's a nice big doofus guy that helps out the good guys, that's kind of messes everything up at the same time. That's like, some kind of spoiler team, like it's like Wisconsin or something like that beats teams, or like Arizona State. They always happen to beat someone when they have no right to beat them. But anyway, let me know, and have a nice weekend. And what? Take a break tomorrow night, watch some good games on Saturday, and enjoy the week. I'll stream on Wednesdays. Yesterday I had technical difficulties. Usually it'll be Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Mountain Time. Sorry, East Coasters, I've got kids. Got to help out with them. So usually Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. I'll stream. Like I said, next morning it should be on podcast. I'll put it up on YouTube. Eventually I'll stream on YouTube when they let me do that. But thanks a lot, guys, and have a nice day and have a nice weekend. Enjoy it while it lasts. College football goes by so fast. Week 1 is here.